Good afternoon, Coldwell Banker. We're here with Frank Delgadillo with CMG Mortgage. He's going to be going over first home buyer assistance, first-time home buyers, and also some social media, how to simplify it and elevate your social media. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it to you. Oh, by the way, he brought pizza. All right.
I have to be interactive, right? I mean, it's like, hey, it's like being like an actor on TV. So everybody, thank you guys out there in the Zoom world. Everybody, thank you guys here in the reality world. My name is Frank Delgadillo from CMG Home Loans. Everybody, do a wave.
One second, real quick. Can everybody see the screen on Zoom?
Yes.
Perfect. Go for it.
Oh, like the voice of God.
Oh, it goes through there, yeah.
Nice. So someone out there in Zoom land, say hello. I want to make sure someone in Zoom land says hello to me.
Hello.
All right. So the voice of God is saying, speak. Thank you guys so much. I want to make this as fun and interactive, but very informative and educative for everyone here today. I understand that your time is very, very important, more now than ever before. And with that in mind, and don't worry, the phone is not recording anybody that's not here for lunch. But because of the real estate business, how it is, I mean, you guys know it because you guys are in the trenches. You know, if we're soldiers, it's like everyone always thinks lenders are always hanging out in an air conditioned room and kicking back and drinking mimosas morning, day, and night. Yeah, well, you guys are out like in infantry, you know, getting chased by dogs, chased by people, chase people with dogs, getting dogs chased by people that have dogs or dogs that have people. And that's a reality. You know, yeah, we all hang out in the air conditioned place. But I'm not that kind of person that does it. And luckily I've been blessed that I had my wife work here. She doesn't work here anymore. Sorry. She moved on to other places, not bigger and better places, just other places. But with that, I was able to know great people like Ruben and Marcy and Jeffrey and all of you guys. And Ruben, you guys sound like an attorney company. Ruben, and then you have another Ruben too.
3 Rubens.
Man, you guys should start like an attorney firm. Ruben, and Ruben.
RRR.
So with this in mind, just thank you guys so much. Before we start off with anything, as we're going to address 3 important things, and I want to make it very energetic, high tech, high trust, high touch with all of you. Where we're going to talk about down payment, well, at least 0% down payment. So it's no money for down payment programs. Yes, there is one available. There's many available, but there is one that you don't need income limits on, like the CalCUFA or whatnot. Down payment gifting assistance. That's a very key thing that CMG exclusively has as its own proprietary product, and it's a great one. Almost like what's called crowdfunding or a GoFunded account. And the last thing I want to do is to impress upon you, not impress you, but impress upon you with just how to get more creative with social media. It's a thing that we don't love to do, but it's a thing we have to do if we want people to know who we are, what we're out there to do, and how we can hopefully get a sale or two out of it and make more money for ourselves. So with this in mind, any questions before you guys start? No questions? Concerns? How you guys doing today?
How's the rate today?
Yeah.
Rates. Well, next question. No, rates are on the 8s. Don't be surprised that, and I say that because not to scare, but just to tell you the truth, and that's what it is. If I look at the gas prices, you're looking to see that they're $5.79, $5.39. You might get it somewhere, you might find $5.19, but you have to drive to Barstow for it. So it's a reality check that it's out there. With FHA, they'll be a little lower. I've seen it in the 7.5. You'll see it right here. So these are rates that I just pulled up yesterday, so you guys can see the exact numbers and how a loan can look like when it comes to a certain particular property. So don't be discouraged, but it's because, and I get it, knowing the fact that if we went from 2s, even high 1s on 10 years and 15-year fixes, to 2.6, 2.8 on 30-year fixes, to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a matter of 2 years, it's a reality check that we don't like to hear. Because when you put it in perspective, someone that was able to qualify for a $1.7 million house is now qualified at 1.2. And still getting competitive offers that they have to be able to look at a house that's $1 million just to get 1.2.
Because of the rate? No, because
1.2 because of the rate. But because of competition, because if that price is, if the house is priced low, you're gonna get 3 or 4 different offers. Oh, I'll give you 1.1, 1.1, 1.5, 1.7, and then sold to 1.2. So realize that someone that qualified at 1.7 is technically at 1 million, and work it down. If you're at 1 million, probably at 600,000 because of payment changing. But this is where we have to then shine more than anywhere else. And you got to be that person of trust, the person of education, the person of information that just say, oh, what's the rate? 8%. Oh, I want to buy. No, hold on a second. Do you want to buy? Yes or no? Tell me why. Tell me what do you want? Tell me what's important to you. And get the person to open up. And even tell you like what their fears are. Tell them, hey, you know what? We're afraid because of the rate. What about the rate? It's an 8. What about 8? You know, so it's like, but because bottom line, they don't pay. I don't see an interest rate, a percentage on this. I know this, I only have $7 in my pocket. I see dollar signs, and so do you. So we don't see 7%, we see $7. The payment does get affected by the rate. But then everyone always focuses on this guy as being the lender. Oh, the rate. Well, you have to understand, the price has also changed. Prices changed 40%. The rates haven't changed 40%. Well, actually, they have changed 100%. But the price has changed so much, and competition and down payment so much option that's driven in a whole different factor. The lack of inventory has also made prices go up a lot more, not the rate. So let's kind of dispel the myth, get a little bit out of that whole rate talk. That's a 4-letter word, rate, and let's get into better 4-letter words. Sold. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. So this is mine. So we did a lunch and learn. I want to thank Ruben and everyone from CBGR to have allowed me to be here for you guys. With this in mind, I want to talk about 3 things. So here's how I just want to be able to partner up with you guys, because it's a team effort. Just like the way people say it takes a village to do things, it takes a village. It takes a village between a realtor, a lender, a notary, a title person, an escrow officer, an appraisal, an inspector, and everybody else. It takes a village, and we're the 2 biggest key essentials, almost like a triangle, to help that person on top, that buyer or that seller. And some people think, well, hey, you're just a lender. Why are you dealing with the seller? Because the seller eventually might have to buy. They might have to sell to move into their kids' houses because they're already old. They might have to sell to move out, or to move in, or to do something. Or at least to pass it on to the kids, so then the kids can then buy something. So let's do whatever we can to help each other with this. Ruben, next screen. So the first and foremost piece, hey, I like that guy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much again for being here, taking time. I know. You know, get his autograph. He's a good-looking guy. I don't know who he is. I don't like him. Huh?
Why is your house?
You know, this is the house that I want to have in Big Bear. I saw it in Big Bear. We took a picture of it, and I just kind of kept it, you know, set your eyes high. Yeah. Yes, next screen. Can you guys have your phones? Can you guys take out your phones, please? I want you to do me a big favor. It'll mean the world to me right now. You do it. Scan this onto your phone. Onto your phone. So
Is that your digital business card?
What?
Is that your digital business card?
So it'll have my contact information, my YouTube, my Insta, whatever other things pop up in there, it'll be there. Save it to yourself. I would appreciate it. And then reach out to me and say, hey, Frank, it's Jeffrey. Hey, Frank, it's this person. That way at least I get to know who was here. And it helps me out. Not for lead retention, but maybe a little bit of agent lead retention. But it's also so that way you have my information handy. Because once I leave here, you're just going to keep a memory and not know how to reach me anymore. So at least now you have my information. No excuses. Next screen. All right. Here is the reality check that I used this from 2016 from a client. That it says the market is what the market is. Right?
Yes.
The market is what the market is. So don't make excuses. Don't make excuses like, oh my God, rates are high. I'm going to stay home and just, not do anything at all. Oh my God, prices are too high. Yeah, they are. And then what? Now, if the price is too high, rates too high, and the buyer that you have is making $1,000 a month and wants to buy $1 million house, that's a big disconnect. Then it is what it is. But you know what? Let's not make excuses. Let's hopefully make results. I took this from a good friend of mine when he told this to another agent, not from here. Realty Masters in Montebello. Where he told her this, and I know it's a gal. He's like, hey, you can't control the weather, you can't control the bank, but you can control the attitude toward it. And that's been a word that I kept for the last 7 years in my head, and it's so true. I can't control the weather, can't control the bank, but I control the attitude that we have behind it. It's our job to dispel any myth and be able to educate people. So that was my friend Chris Gandara, client and friend. On to the next screen, sir. Thank you so much. Today, learning 3 things. 0% down payment, 100% financing. Yes, we have it. Down payment gifting assistance. So how to make you get more clients. I'm gonna help you guys out with that. That's one little tool that I can give you. It's worth it. And then there's number 3, the thing that we despise the most. How to see our faces on our cameras with social media, and a quick 3-step guide on how to make you get content out there and start doing it. We're gonna do one today. Next screen. Whew. All right. Where are we at? Good timing. CMG through FHA has something called, it's a buyer's choice. That you can come in with something with as little as $0 down payment. Through a buyer's choice, even as we have an FHA buyer's choice down payment assistance that can help your buyers purchase more home with no money down. Where whenever you hear no money down, you hear of either down payment assistance through the city, the states, the government programs. A very common one is CalHFA. You hear it out there where they'll give you 3% towards your down, 3% towards your closing costs or whatnot. But it's 3%. And if you buy a house with FHA, you still have to come in with an extra 0.5%. CalHFA requires you to come in with 1% of your own purchase money out of pocket. So it's not free money. It's not no money down. It's still something out of your pocket.
And that's 2 loans with Cal FHA versus second.
Correct. Yeah. The CalHFA is the silent second. This one here, we do have a silent second, but I didn't want to show you that one because the rate's a little higher. I'm not gonna lie to you. But there's options here that you can do a payment program on that second. So then you don't have to pay back anybody when you sell the house, when you're refinancing, when you move on. It's your own mortgage on this loan. FHA set it up that we can do something with 100% financing or even 101.5. And I'll show you later on how you can get that extra 1.5%. That's going to be financed to you on paying for your closing costs for part of it. Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about when the appraiser goes out there, they can call for repairs, and I think termite section 1 is no longer required on FHA. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's not required if you don't request it.
Right, not on the offer. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about what kind of repairs would they generally be calling for?
On FHA?
Yeah.
So good question. We'll get to that right now because that can be done in 1 minute or so. So normal things on FHA, aside from water heaters, double strap, carbon monoxide detectors, smoke detectors. Biggest thing is anything with lead. So like facial boards, paint peeling, make sure that you scratch it all off, you sand it down, you repaint it. That's the biggest thing. Aside from what I call the 3 S's: safe, sound, sanitary. Make sure the property is safe, that all the walls are straight, there's a roof on top, everything's in good order, but that also works in conventional too. Sound, make sure all the walls are straight and that nothing's falling apart. Another safety concern is windows. Make sure that there's no cracks on windows, make sure there's no outlets that are exposed that you can get zapped on. Also sanitary, make sure that there's no mold, or if there's any mold or anything of concern for water spots on ceilings or whatnot, or things on the floor. The appraiser is not going to call it out and say, hey, that's mold. He or she's going to say, we saw something, get a roof inspector, a mold inspector, a health inspector to do these things. Appraisers will never tell you what it is. They're going to suggest that you get someone to check it out. And that's it. So I hope that
FHA, if it calls out on an appraisal, that can be negotiated, be moved to the buyer if the seller doesn't want to do the FHA repairs, correct?
It can. Up to a certain point, it can. So it's a matter that you just got to put that extra money into it so the work gets done by a contractor, not to the buyer. If it's something that the appraiser's calling out versus an inspector, that has to get done before the loan closes. Now, let's separate that little piece because now we're kind of getting a little bit deviated from the down payment part. If an inspector calls something that the appraiser doesn't call out, hey, don't ask, don't tell. Inspector calls something that maybe the inspector says, hey, there's some GFIs that are missing on this house. Well, appraiser didn't call it out, but you're going to get these things repaired. Then yeah, you can then give them a credit that can help out the buyer with their closing costs in lieu of those repairs being done. But those are 2 different things. If it's something that it's electrical panels that are exposed and seller says, I don't want to do it, then we might, and that can be addressed with 10-15 bucks into it, put that into escrow, and then that way a contractor has to go in and then get that repair done.
Is the credit that you mentioned good enough to close the deal, or do you have to repair it with the credit before?
Good question. So depending on what that situation is, so the inspector called something, right? And not the appraisal. Then they say, hey, I can't be telling you this, so I didn't tell you this.
Depends on the bank.
Depends on the bank and depends also on what situation is. That they're saying, hey, I want this credit given to us because the seller's not gonna repair this, but the appraiser didn't call it out. Then, hey, well, then we're gonna say, well, whatever the appraiser called out is what we're calling out. That didn't get called out, so we don't wanna know about this. And all of a sudden, magically, we get a closing cost credit at close of escrow of $100, $200 for closing costs. Just don't say, oh, we're gonna give you $200 because you're gonna repair that door that fell off. Don't say that. That's a no-no.
Right.
Because then an underwriter is gonna say, whoa, what door? Hold on. Let's hold the brakes. Let's stop escrow. Let's make sure we get that door, get the appraiser out there. It's gonna cost the buyer more money. So you're gonna spill the beans. Be very vigilant as an agent to protect your buyer.
So the warning will be on credit.
Credit towards closing
Yes.
costs, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. So going back to this, where CalHFA FA has income limits to say, hey, if you want us to give you 3% down payment towards your down payment, or you go through a city program, a Alhambra program, a San Montebello program, LA County, San Bernardino County, they have income restrictions. Say, hey, we're going to give you $80,000, but you have to have a family of 5 of less than $80,000 a year to qualify. So you fit it in this small little box. Like, wait a second, if I make too much money, I don't get the money. If I make too little money, I can't qualify for the payment. If I have too much money in the bank, I don't get it. If I have too little money, I can't do it. So with these programs, they put you in a small little type box that it's not designed to fail, but it's designed to fit certain people. This one says, hey, let's not even break the box and say there's no income limits, no geographic restrictions. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer to buy this house. You can move up, move into another one, keep on buying one over and over. No home buyer education, no military requirement. You can get this 3% or even 5%, 3.5% or 5% towards your down payment and even part of your closing cost. And look, and also low credit score acceptable. That we can do even a score as low as 580 on FHA and get this money. Down payment assistance requires 660 and above. So again, talk about that box being a little tighter. So to give you an example on this, let's go to the next slide. Just so that way we can see a particular house, put a price on it. And yes, this is a real condo. As a matter of fact, it's right across the street from my house. So there's a real price on a real condo in Azusa. 2-bedroom, 2-bath. You're looking for the house. It's what's my address? 735 North Sequoia Lane, 91702. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 951 square feet, 525 purchase price, 385 HOA. You are 40 feet away, 20 feet away from what do you call that? Not tennis.
Of course.
No.
Oh, racket?
The other one nowadays. Pickleball. 20 feet away from a pickleball court, basketball court, and 40 feet away from a swimming pool. That's a nice house. My neighbors, they're selling it because they have to move the baby, whatever.
Noisy.
Huh?
Noisy.
Only daytime. After 10 o'clock at night, we keep people out. That's it. But actually, no one's played pickleball yet.
What's the HOA?
385.
Oh.
385. It's not bad. It's not bad. So just FYI. So I'm using this. Hey, there's a good looking gal right there. That's her. So, which by the way, just a little side note, if you ever do an open house or whatnot, just the way I helped out with Marcia on a particular home, not this home, but I just used her picture for reference. We can also do these open house flyers for you guys.
Did you get
Have a
permission?
QR code.
Did you get permission?
Better ask forgiveness and permission. I'm out pizza.
So
No RESPA on that one.
how much the knowledge?
Great question. Next slide. So with 525 down the price, the normal down payment for an FHA loan is 300% down payment. That's $18,375 plus foreclosure closing costs, which are for lender, escrow, title, third-party fees, taxes, and insurance. Go to the next slide. Wanted to give you that as a reference so you can see that you're required to have $18,375 for down payment. On a regular FHA loan, this is just a real number right here, that at 525, if you put in 3.5% down payment, your interest rate will be 7.5%. See, there are seven still. That with a 30-year fixed loan, your total payment, and this includes mortgage, 30-year fixed, taxes at 1.25%, insurance at about $100 a month, maybe less, PMI of 0.55, and the HOA payments are $48, $47 a month. and you're required to come in with just a little over $30,000 cash to close. Down payment of $18,375 plus about $12,000 for closing costs.
In this scenario here, how much does the buyer have to make?
Ah, good question. I figured that out earlier and I had it on my phone. Well, let's address that question a little bit later.
Okay,
Because every payment will vary based on a program, which then varies on how much does your buyer have to make. And not one shoe fits everybody, so not one income fits everybody. So that's what we just gotta keep that in mind. But that's a good question that I wanted to address that.
But you have a max DTI, right?
Yes, yes. FHA tends to be a little bit more lenient, so I'll get to that one just to kind of give you some numbers that you can then figure out what to do. So look, you come in with, so if someone wants to buy this house, they have to come in with about $31,000 total cash to close. And let's say, for example, hold that question, Jeffrey. What if you say, look, I mean, I love this house, you know, I recently got engaged with my fiance, we're gonna get married soon, we don't have any kids, or maybe there's one on the way or whatnot, and you know, I just graduated from college. Which by the way, this condo is next to APU and Citrus College. So that way, what if you just graduated, you got a good job as an engineer, making X amount of money, which we'll get to it. I got a good job, I have a good situation. I just don't have the money to come in with. You know, I got about $6,000 in the bank, and you're like, well, you know, well, $6,000 is not gonna cut it. Sorry. But maybe if we can get you 3.5% of a down payment assistance, we'll get that for you. So that way all you have to come in is only with your closing costs. They're like, well, I only got $6,000. I mean, I still don't have enough to cut it. But you know, you know, me and my fiance get paid about $140,000 a year. We're a paralegal and an office technician. You know, getting these good jobs that we're going to come out with it. Can we still get this house? Yes or no? Well, hold on a second. Actually, we could, because if I give you 5% of a down payment assistance of a payable down payment assistance to help you with it, you can then get the house for under $6,000, $5,194 total cash out of pocket. That the difference, which is about $25,000, went towards your down payment and a good portion of your closing costs. So that gets you this amount. Payment goes up a little higher. The reason why is because you're financing that extra 3.5% into it, or that 5% into it, to cover some of those down payment, some of the down payment and some of the closing costs. But now you're at a payment of $5,348. Yeah, let's be honest. You may not like this because it's $500 more, but it's also $25,000 less.
is that payment including taxes?
Everything out the door.
Everything?
Everything.
Wow.
Everything except for your trash bill.
Those figures, the lowest one are the money coming from the pocket of the buyer, right?
Yes, correct.
That's good.
Correct. So that gives you a lot of leverage. I should have given you guys all of this.
The rate right now.
Hey, Frank, just so you know, it would take them 50 months to recuperate that, the 25,000 based on a savings of $500. Oh, actually, the payment increase of $500. Does that make sense?
Yes. So it's like you're returning your investment.
Yep. ROI.
So it's not for everybody, but it could just be for that right person that has the job and just doesn't have the money. So if we go to the next slide, I'll give you an idea, because as you asked, how much money you have to make, or who's the kind of client that you're looking for that can do this. Next slide, please. So who's it for? Someone or a couple with high income and no funds. Someone that wants them as a primary residence, because keep in mind, FHA is for primary residence only. Someone who qualifies and needs to close fast, because maybe on a down payment assistance, it takes 35, 45, 60 days to close. We can close in 14, 15 days. So it's that fast, it's that efficient. You know, a recent college graduate, because once they graduate, they're going to hopefully get a job and get it where it's going to pay them really well. So keep those things in mind. I use those little things for you guys, so then you guys can then look at your clients, look at your friends, look at your coworkers, not these coworkers, but other coworkers, and find out, hey, you know, did your son graduate? Did I graduate? Congratulations. Where'd you graduate from? Oh, Illinois University. Awesome. Great. What'd you graduate in? Sociology. She got a job. Oh, you know, and she's going to come back to California. I got you a house for her, you know, something like that. Sorry.
So you don't need the 2-year work experience, you put the letter off.
Great question. If you get an offer letter and your degree is technically your 2 years work experience. So with an offer letter on a base income, we'll use that base income right away. As soon as you start the job, you can already qualify for the house.
Are you able to use child support from like a divorced couple, and she's getting alimony or child support?
If it's on a divorce decree and it's mandated,
Divorce decree.
yeah, it's gotta be mandated. It just can't be
How
like,
many years? Is there like a limit? Like,
yes. Alimony is usually until you get married, right? So you get until the person can be married again. So there's no determining factor because she may want to not get married at all.
Yeah.
And it's for life for
child
different.
support, say the child's 15 and they only get 3 more years.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It was, and I gotta see where if it's changed recently because there was a guideline thing about the 3-year mark has went away, but now they're kind of putting it back into it. So it was a 3-year mark that if a child's 14, we're good. The child's 15 in 1 month, it's less than 3 years, they're not gonna do it. But there's always clauses because sometimes when you're 18, the person's still gonna get child support if they still go to college.
Right.
So it's that clause right there. It's that little leeway. But this is good. You know, somebody who's a police officer, a fireman, an engineer, you know, or someone that just has, you know, just graduated and just has a lot of bills, but so they're trying to take care of their own bills, but they have a good job. This can help them out. This can definitely help them in getting into a home.
So what's the high income and the low income range?
High income, low funds. So someone that has a lot of money but doesn't have cash in their pocket.
So what's the
Earns
maximum
a lot.
income?
Earns a lot, sorry.
What's maximum income for the couple?
No maximum, no income limit.
What's the minimum?
What's the minimum?
Well, that's gonna be a great question here.
To
That's a good
qualify.
one.
That's to qualify.
So that's the question that Ruben had. So when I pulled some numbers out, it's gonna sound a little weird if I say this number. I calculated, I'll go back to that back page screen.
925?
Yes. So let's just use the highest payment into it.
You're gonna reverse it?
Yes.
Reverse.
So 53.49, just to round it up to the highest dollar. And I'm going at a highest debt to income ratio of 49%. That's the highest. That tells me that we're gonna allow someone that has a good credit score, 700, 720, 740, that has no debt in their pockets, no debt. It's very rare that happens, but there's no debt.
Doesn't have that.
Including car payment?
No.
No, because mom and dad were so loving that they just paid their car payments and paid off all their school loans.
It's important to know that this factor that he gives you is based off no debt.
That's the.
Because if they have debt, you have to add it to that payment.
Correct. Correct.
It's smart.
So I mean, it's important. And so it's maybe it's unrealistic because we know all of our kids have debt. They have a car and they have 3 credit cards and they go to Starbucks every other day and spend $1,000 a month on coffee when they should be putting it to their house. That's reality for us now. But that's where you gotta say, hey, toughen up, buttercup. You know, it's like you want to buy a house, go buy Folgers. Simple as that. You know, our parents did it or our grandparents did it. But the income should be about $131,000.
That's not that much.
Minimum?
You're right.
Nowadays, all
Minimum.
youngsters, they make a lot of money.
So then let's be a little more realistic. You have a guy and a fiance, both graduated. One is a paralegal. Paralegals get paid between $60,000 and $90,000. That's a reality check of now. And the person became a police officer. Now gets paid $90,000, $8,000 a month, working at Twin Towers.
That's okay.
That's okay. You know, they might have a couple of debts, no big deal. But maybe they don't have enough money because, you know, the fiance just graduated, you know, the husband just graduated and he has no money. And the girlfriend has maybe small credit cards. But if they're earning $8,000 and $7,000, that's $15,000 a month, they can get this.
Before tax or after?
Before taxes. That's a great question. Before taxes. So we use gross income.
Yes.
And out of the gross income, we divide a certain amount as being your qualifying debt ratio of a payment. And so that's where at 49%, it's a high debt ratio, but it's almost very agreeable. You know, you're gonna be a little strapped for cash because this is how much you make gross. Uncle Sam takes this much, coffee, gas, food, coffee. You make very little income left over for you. But if it's realistic for somebody, I might say, hey, I may not like this payment at $5,000, but if we go rent a place, nowadays, how much is it? $3,500, unfortunately.
2,000.
2,000 where?
Rent?
The
No,
similar, the
I think so.
example you are using, maybe 2,200.
no.
Great question. I'm glad you're bringing that scenario. Which my wife, I know she works for other places. I'm bringing that up. She rented an actual same place as this one, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $2,800. $2,800 for a rental.
Not lower than.
But you can't write off rent.
That's it. You can't write off rent, can't write off the stuff. And look, I'm gonna be the most realistic person for you. When you rent, you have a first and last month payment. That's $5,600 for that property, for that place that it's not gonna be yours. It's gonna be the landlord. The landlord's living a good life in Arizona because they bought it 27 years ago. That's real story information. And the mortgage is only $40,000 on that property. I know them really well because I'm part of the board and I'm part of the homeownership right here. But for the same amount of money that they're going to come in with, in 5 years from now, that payment is still going to be the same. Maybe HOA might go up a little bit. It hasn't gone up the last 4 years that I've lived there since October 4, 2019. It has never gone up. Our reserves are really good, surprisingly. Taxes might go up a little bit. Mine hasn't gone up. It's only gone up $5 in the last 4 years, thank God. Insurance went up. That's a reality. It went up $22. But this payment's going to stay relatively the same. Think about what the rent's going to look like as rent goes up 4 to 6% every year. At 28, next one's going to be $2,920. Next one's going to be $3,100. This is going to be $3,500 eventually. That payment stays the same, and you have write-offs. You have tax deductions. You have a home ownership. You have equity that's being built on this property.
Can we find?
2 years from now, 3 years from now, when rates go down, you refinance it, get into $4,500, maybe $4,600. And get out of that payment thing that gets you something even lower and with a lower rate, maybe $4,200. Whew, we made it okay. You just gotta just kind of grab your heart, grab your pocketbook, but know that this is gonna be yours and not your landlord's. When they say, "Oh, my kid's gonna move back in," sorry, 60 days notice, you're out. So just keep those things in mind. This is real numbers here for you guys. Any questions, thoughts, ideas?
Well, as a matter of fact, that will actually reduce. Is the second forgivable after 5 years?
This is a repayment of 10 years.
Okay.
After 10 years, that FHA goes away. But here's what I'm going to tell you this part. Because you're coming in with no money down, and if two things, if and when rates go down, and your equity builds up, get out of this FHA loan. Because you have PMI on this, and a higher rate. 2 years minimum, enough equity, get yourself at least 10% minimum equity, hopefully 20%. Get into a conventional loan, get rid of that PMI. This is going to drastically reduce so much more.
Are they obligated to stay with the FHA loan for how many years?
Never.
Ooh, you're asking a lender a question. A salesperson will say, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But that's what also a little snake told Adam and Eve. You can do whatever you want. Eat the snake, don't eat the apple, don't worry about it. I always use that analogy. Technically, on an FHA or any kind of home, you stay with it as long as you can. However, things change. Sometimes things change. Life changes. That you can also get out of that loan and get into another one. So as long as you stay within at least 6 months, that's what the bank likes to see because that's how they make their money in return. And also because you need 6 months of a seasoning to use a new appraisal. Because if not, that bank, wherever bank used, they're gonna say, well, how long would you buy it? 5 months ago? We gotta use the same purchase price of the house. Well, I can't refinance. But just wait 6 months where there's a seasoning that passes by. You can use a new appraisal, new value, and whatever your balance is and new value is, you can use it.
If we encounter a potential buyer and we refer to you, are you willing to explain to them the scenario?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And living proof with Jeffrey and Marcy. I love explaining things to people. So I'm not just a salesperson that says, okay, I got your interest rate, I closed your deal, like now I'm going to party and have mimosas. I'm someone that explains to them as far as, like, I'm more like your financial advisor, a financial mortgage advisor. I will be there with them, like your kid's doctor. What do you call them? Pediatricians? I'm your pediatrician. I get paid only once, and I'm there with you for the next 30 years of your life. Or the next 50 years for your kids.
Right. This is the best deal you can have with your package. This is the best one.
Is the best one? It's one of them. So just like one shoe doesn't fit all, let's say that one shoe you have is the best shoe that you can use to run and to skate and to roller skate and to go ice skating and so forth. No, you have different shoes for different ones. But this is one that we can use. I don't want to give you too many because I'm going to confuse you. But this is a good one that you can use right now for people that have high income, low funds, that gets them into a house at a much better interest rate compared to market rates now. Yes,
Frank, so is this the one that you're considering 100% financing?
correct,
You come in with the 1%?
correct.
Or less than 1%?
Because this is 0% down.
Well, but you're coming in with closing costs,
Closing costs, yes.
5,000 is for closing costs.
Correct. Yes.
So do you have programs
Right.
for foreigners?
For
Foreigners?
Renters.
No, foreigners. People who are in
Foreigner.
the US.
Oh, my apology, those foreigners.
Yeah.
Foreigners, yes, we do. Yes, we do. I don't have it here on display, but there are some that we can use, either use like foreign nationals, that we can use like the income taxes that they need somewhere else. Taxes that they're here, but they're still residents somewhere else, I-10 borrowers, or people that want to come in. Yeah.
To number?
How much is the down payment they need?
I have to see. Great question. Send me your information. I'll get back to you with that one.
I understand that the better or the best FICO they have, you can have a lower, mortgage rate, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Correct. Yes.
Actually, Fannie and Freddie do I-10s, right?
Fannie does,
Fannie do.
not Freddie. So great question, everybody out there. So conventional FHA, because of Fannie Mae, they'll allow an I-10.
Yeah.
So not an I-10 directly, but a DACA recipient.
Right.
So a DACA, I'm just kind of going off the path, but a DACA recipient is someone that came through the Dreamers program. They have an I-10, but they, because of school or work, they have a special kind of a card for that they can buy. That's a big difference. So for example, I-10 down payment minimum is 20%. DACA recipient, 3%. Same I-10 number, but because they have that little paper that says DACA, they save 17% down payment right off the bat. So great savings for somebody.
And the rates.
And the rates are better too, yes.
I know you're presenting FHA, but, and the reason, cause like some sellers really, they don't want this.
Yeah.
So, and that can cause problems because, you know what I'm talking about, Marcy, they do not want an FHA loan. They don't want to be controlled by an appraiser. Is there a conventional loan that would give people like something similar with the zero down and the rates?
Very good question. Yeah, that's where CalHAPA comes in as a conventional through the income restriction programs, if they can do something like that.
Alfalfa is conventional?
Conventional and FHA.
But it's
And VA, it's a lot more, it's a lot more in depth into other stuff.
correct me if I'm wrong, it's harder to do a CalHAPA than it is to a FHA.
Correct.
Is CalHAPA gonna call out repairs?
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff?
They could.
Oh, see.
So keep in mind this, but let's kind of dispel that little myth right there. FHA, I always want to say FHA is not a 4-letter word. I hate this loan and whatever. FHA, by myth dispelling, has almost no differences in a conventional loan for a seller. Because a seller says, I want the highest amount of money, cheapest amount of cost out of my pocket, I want to sell it fast. And that's what we want too for the seller. So that's why I'm also here to help you out with their sellers. The only difference is that on an FHA, fascia boards, because of either, paint peeling or lead stuff, that's really it. If a window's cracked, FHA or conventional,
Well, yeah,
it's
they're gonna want this, but, okay.
yeah.
I think
So that's really it.
most agents' perception is like, oh, just stay away from it.
Yeah, that's.
And that's it.
That's me, hands down.
No, that's good. That's why I want to be there as your lender.
I don't like FHA, and I have a house coming up as a listing where I know it's all gonna be FHA, that's why I'm asking you very pointed questions.
No, that's good. I'm glad. I appreciate that. If I can help you with that, so that way we can even dispel that seller's information, because then if a buyer comes in and say, well, it's a lot of work needs to be done. You know what? Hey, FHA renovation. Seller doesn't have to do any of the work. Renovation does it. Buyer pays it all. Buyer can have it his way like Burger King. Gets all the house done the way they want it. The seller just can move out in 15 days or 21 days.
Oh,
Seller does nothing to the house and the buyer can buy it and renovate the house the way they want.
okay.
So FHA is a good word.
The age limit is the same, right? 18?
Yes.
What is that?
If a person has a good job and good income and good credit, yes.
What were you talking about that?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm sorry. Age limit 18. So here's a good one that I like to use for my daughter. At one point, my daughter, Frankie, as much Marcy knows, she wanted to move to Illinois. Wants to move to Illinois University to become a nurse. She was telling me, Dad, you do these loan things. I heard that you could buy me a house with 3.5% down in Illinois with an FHA loan. My own daughter schooled me, and it's true. Because as long as she's the primary resident, I could be a co-signer to the house. I don't have to live in the house. She lives in the house. She'll get the better rate, the better option, loan, 3.5% down payment, and buy the house. At 18. No income. Because my kid's not gonna work.
Oh, with this FHA,
With
you can
FHA.
have your parents as a
FHA. FHA is a great three-letter word.
As long as she's a non-qualifying borrower, right?
No, she is a qualifying borrower, but she's a primary resident. She lives in the house.
Right, but she has no income there, right?
That's okay. My income's gonna support it.
Right, so she's a non-qualifying borrower.
Oh, I'm sorry, non-qualifying borrower, yeah.
Yeah,
Not a non-occupying borrower, non-qualifying borrower, yes.
Owner
Yes.
non-qualifying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, gotcha.
Owner occupied, non-qualified borrower.
Yes,
So she doesn't have to work, but you work, that's you who would qualify.
He's on the hook.
He's the one who put his name.
You have a,
that's why I only have $7 in my pocket.
you have a,
That's only for the first time buyer.
No, FHA does not have to be.
for owner occupied.
As long as they live in the house,
Oh,
in the
okay.
house, they live in the house, they can do it.
Nice to see you. Take care.
Yes,
Are you able to do out-of-state loan?
yes,
North California loan?
yes, that's also in-state, that's in-state, that. I'm licensed in Arizona, Nevada, and Texas,
Oh.
and but I hold the things in different areas.
Oh,
We got something over here on the group chat. Thank you so much. This program full docs only? Yes, it is. We have to make sure that that your income is real.
and
On FHA though, other programs are different, but for this one, yes.
Right, going back to what you were talking about, that the seller doesn't have to do any repairs, the buyer can do the repairs. That's a different loan program though.
That's an FHA 203K.
But how long does that take in escrow?
Yeah.
That's long.
Actually, no. Very, very big dispelling unit. So we have one right now that actually closed 17 days.
Wow.
Okay.
It closed 17 days because the seller says, I don't want nothing to do with it. You get the inspector for FHA comes in there and says, all right, this is the work. The appraiser goes in, this is all right. This is the work that it looks as is, and it has improved. We're gonna do all this work. Yeah, seller says, I don't want nothing to do with it. No, just close it. We'll take care of the rest.
So you can do that in how many days?
Close the deal in 17 days. Average is usually 30 days because the appraiser has to go there twice, go check it out, and the inspector. But as long as you have a laundry list already of what you're gonna do, and the inspector and the appraiser see it,
Escrow it?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then that buyer can then finance the work up to 6 months, including the payments of that mortgage. So they don't even have to stay in the house while the work gets done up to 6 months, and then they'll have it done.
Just know on that program, the money stays in escrow and it's dispersed based
Yeah.
on work.
Are you finding, you're having problems? I don't know if you've done anything like that recently, but finding, homeowners insurance?
That's everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere. But that's another question. That's gonna be another. I know right now Farmers is probably the only one that's doing homeowners insurance applications, and they're only doing 7,000 for the whole state every month. Once it's done, they close down for the whole month for the next month.
very often when the kids graduated from school, they have a high income, but they don't have credit.
FHA will take that.
I'm sorry?
FHA will accept that. With
The
alternative credit, right?
Yeah.
Minimum FICO would be like a 720.
Well, then, yeah, I mean, we don't wanna just say, you go take anybody's score, but if someone that has high credit, high income, no credit, we'll help them on how to do that. So we can do alternative credit. We can see that maybe they have a layaway plan. They pay rent at the dorms. They have, car insurance, or a cell phone bill.
Yeah.
So we'll create a credit for them.
Very creative.
For this,
Last question, because then we're going off the beaten path here, and people at home are getting bored.
the condo, area like the FHs, do they still require the 51% owner occupant?
That's for FHA for occupancy on condos, yes.
The same bit.
And with that, there's another one we can do. That's a whole other conversation because we can even do spot approvals that they don't require 51%. We can do a spot approval that even with 5-10% occupancy, they can do it. But that's a whole other situation. Text me information. Text me information so I can call you and reach out to you on that. Any other important questions related to this? Any questions out there related to this? Move on to the next two screens. All right. So here's the main question for you guys as salespeople, sales to sales. Here's the question you have to ask yourself. Who do you know that they know someone that needs to know you? That's a very good one. I'm gonna repeat it 2 more times. Who do you know? So who do you know that they know someone that they need to know you? And that's the question you can say. That way you can say, well, who do I know? Do I know my friend? That they know someone else, that they have another friend, that you want to get a hold of them because that person is an engineer, a police officer, a nurse, a doctor, a paralegal, physician. That they need to know you because by you knowing them, they know you, you get to help them sell a house or buy a house. This is a question that you ask yourself every single day as you're working here. So that way you can get business. Next screen. Oh yeah, and me, because I need to help you with the loan. This one came out a little funky, I know. I'm like, so the Home Funded program, it's a great program. You look at that scan. So if you look at the following page, there's a QR code. Go to the next screen. You can't see it there on your pages over here. This is going to be a great product for you as a realtor to help out clients that in case they're looking for money because they don't have any money for down payment or for closing costs, you can become the person of choice. So remember, as you're looking for somebody, who do you know that knows that they know someone that needs to know you? If you go to realtor.homefunded.com, it's a website from CMG, from Home Funded, that if you apply on it or at least sign in, go to the next screen, I think. It'll look like this. And they help your buyers build a bigger down payment, faster, more easily, secure long-range buyer relationships today. Agent sign up. Only you get to see this information. I don't get to see who signs up into it until eventually you link me as your loan officer. You don't have to use me for every single loan in the future. I would like it to. But if you're looking for someone that is looking for down payment assistance and just can't rely on mom and dad because maybe mom and dad don't have enough money. But let's say, what if your cousin, your best friend, your coworker, whatever Ruben wants to give you $100 for your down payment. Let's say you want to buy a house. He can actually give you money and not have to do a gift letter and show bank statements and so forth. You put it into a crowdfunding account. It's a non-interest bearing account. Everybody puts money into it so that even if it's $5, $10, $100, up to $5,000, everyone can do it. Real true story. And this was, see, I don't want to bring race, but it was an Asian family during COVID time. 2020, May 2020, they had a wedding because they planned it out during 2019. They couldn't do the wedding. It was in New York. Family was not able to get me with them, but everybody wanted to send them money because it's the more of the I don't know if it's cultural, but it's a nice way that they get some money because they couldn't meet with them. They give them gifts. Everybody from, and I don't want to say China, but I'm assuming somewhere from every places, different states, different cities, all sent them money. They sent them an equal amount, about $75,000, from $10 to $100 to $5,000 to different family members that they were able to buy their house in New Jersey. So that was a really cool thing that this program works. Go to the next screen, or actually, I'm going to go to the next screen, please. If you don't mind. No, could you mind going to the web, the link for the Vimeo? Because I have a 5-minute. No, the email with the link.
Stop sharing.
So sorry, guys.
You want me to click on it?
Yes.
Hang on.
You can then share it.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can actually get into.
It's going to be
the next one, the bottom one. Yes.
No.
And then partner video in the bottom corner.
Where?
Bottom left. A little higher.
Oh.
There you go. Hopefully you guys can hear it everywhere. 5-minute video about it. Pretty cool.
Gain access to the tool that helps your clients overcome the #1 hurdle to homeownership. Reach more home buyers and help them buy a home faster. Plus, capture future home buyers as soon as they start saving. Home Funded empowers home buyers to purchase a home sooner and gives you the chance to establish yourself as the preferred agent for a huge untapped market. You can instantly activate your free, custom-branded Home Funded consumer website today. The #1 obstacle potential home buyers face is saving for a down payment. How many more potential buyers could you reach if you could help them grow their down payment?
I've had clients in the past and they were ready to buy a home. They wanted to buy a home and would have made great homeowners. However, unless you've got a certain amount of savings, it's oftentimes difficult to enter into the home market as a first-time buyer.
Home Funded gives you the distinctive edge to be able to serve these potential buyers first. Home Funded is the first and only tool that lets your buyers receive down payment gifts online via debit or credit card from anyone. Family, friends, coworkers, wedding guests, and others can all contribute with just a few clicks. There are no taxes, transaction fees, or other hidden costs.
It was a really simple, easy process. When we first started our campaign, I was expecting my parents to give.
That's how the website will look for the
expecting
client that you want.
friends and
Everybody can donate money, $5, $10, $20, $100.
Other feature, friends and contribute every time they shop at hundreds of top online retail partners.
If you go shopping anywhere, Best Buy,
Every purchase,
anywhere, whatever amount you buy, or even Walgreens, that extra little money will go into their fund.
They do it. Home Funded is the answer to growing your business in a crowded market. Accelerate your client's transaction by months or even years. Capture future home buyers before they talk to your competition. Differentiate yourself with this innovative platform.
And gloss and someone I consider a friend, and secretly sent it out to a bunch of our mutual friends and acquaintances. And all of a sudden I start getting all of these emails of people contributing. And I was just like, I probably cried like 5 times one day.
Your Home Funded consumer portal is ready to accept clients wanting to build their down payment faster. Showcase current clients who are using Home Funded and even match contributions. Plus, you'll gain access to co-brandable marketing material like flyers, emails, videos, social media content, and more. Your first-time home buyers can also qualify for up to $2,000 in matching funds. Grow your business even faster. Just click the link to activate your Home Funded Realtor portal today.
It's really why we're here. It's good to see something so new be so successful.
This program is really changing lives.
And then what I do with CMG is that we give 2-for-1 matching. So for every dollar the buyers give or your friends and family, we'll match it 2-for-1 up to $2,000. So it comes out of my commission. That's okay. But I do that for you guys, so that way that matches and goes toward closing costs. We can't put it toward the down payment, we can put it toward closing costs. So if someone gets, say, $10,000 for down payment, we'll give $2,000 for closing costs. That's the extra $12,000 that they never had to begin with. And what's really cool about it is that when you set up that website, and then someone say, let's say, like, what's your name? Virginia. And what's your name? Judy. Judy? Okay, so let's say Virginia sets up the website, she's gonna buy the house. And then Judy says, hey, Virginia, I love you, girl. I'm gonna pay $100 to you. You're set up in there, so it says, Judy gave Virginia $100. So a little congratulations. He, as a realtor, Ruben, he's your realtor. He can then tell all of your friends, hey, by the way, Judy gave $100. This is a great program for you. If you're thinking about buying a home, call me up about it. I'll have to help you how to buy a home. So then you may want to say, well, I want to buy a home like the way Virginia bought it. I want someone to give me money so that after that, everybody here in the back gives you money and it creates a bigger effect. And that's what it's all about. Great way. Here's another great tool this is what I thought about that whole thought. Is a guy who is the #1 salesman, Joe Girard. You guys heard of him? Oh my gosh, you guys. First guy that said that he was like the highest #1 salesperson, and he has something called the Rule of 250. And it sounds weird, but it says basic principles that most people have about 250 people in their lives that will show up at their wedding or funeral. It's true. So if you can make a list, this is what I'm doing, which I started last week. Who do you know in your circle that are going to come to your funeral, to your wedding? If money wasn't an object, who do you know will come to your wedding? Write those people down. Those are the people that you should be calling every week or every other week to reach out to them and see if they know someone that needs to know you. And that's how you're going to become successful in this business. Because it doesn't matter what the market is, it doesn't matter what the rate, it doesn't matter what price is, as long as you get somebody that can say, hey, who do you know? Can I talk with them? That's a great way. Now, let's get this face out of the way. So, any questions with the Home Funded thing so far? It's a great product. Go to that realtor.homefunded.com. Sets you up free, you can check it out, see what you want to add me on there. I would appreciate it. And from there, we can help like our friends, become clients in the future. A great way that I can give you value as you as an agent with your friends to become clients. Now, here's the thing that all this comes down to. Quick, easy 3 steps. Who has social media? Marcy has it. No. Nobody else has social media, Instagram, Facebook?
I think you all have it. Come on. Whether you use it or not, you have it.
You guys like it? Ruben, you're being quiet. So whether we like it or not, it's out there. We get to use it because we use it because we get to see our friends I got to meet up with my friend from elementary school from 1988. Yeah, that tells me how old I am, 49 years old. And I got to know through Facebook because no matter where they were, whether in Oklahoma or Lake Elsinore or just down the street, got to meet up with each other. Instagram is also a great way that we can connect with people because people that you don't know get to start following you because you start providing some content. And the hardest part is to put things out there because what are you gonna say? That's the hardest part. You know you're a realtor, you know you're a great realtor, but how do other people know that you're a great realtor? By telling them, hey, my name is Judy, thank you so much. I'm a realtor for Cole Becker George Realty. Been doing this for 15 years, and I would love to be able to help you. Can you please let me know if you know somebody? DM me, send me something. Something as simple as that. But you need a couple of tools to help you. And these are a lot of different tools, just like I mentioned earlier about combo lock boxes. There's like 2 different types of combo lock boxes. There's also like other different types of things that you can use to help you with your arsenal, how to create content and how to do things. But the quick and easy steps, here's the 3 steps. Use your phone. Your phone is the easiest thing to use, and it just gets you going. All you have to do is you open it up, you see yourself, you start recording. What comes out of your mouth is a whole different thing. But it gives you great pics and video quality. You can also save your video. 2, the quick easy step is knowing what you're gonna say. So if I were you, have great bullet points. Anything that happens to you in life is a great bullet point that you can discuss. Discuss today's meeting. Something as simple as that. Discuss, hey, I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday that she was like telling me that, man, my mom wants to sell her house, but we have this problem in the backyard where we have gophers. I don't know if I should do it. You know, and then create little content out of it. Whatever it is, dumb little things out of it. You know, my best friend is thinking of buying a home and she wants to buy it in Highland Park. The house is $1 million. You know, let's see what homes we are. Then you go home searching. You guys preview property, right? Let's say, hey, by the way, I'm going to go preview property right now. And you start showing the house. That's a great way to do it. But you just got to start. Number 3, and with this, practice, and just practice. And I always say fire, then aim. Just get on there and then figure out how to do it as you go along. And number 3, things as easy as Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. If you guys have them, you're already halfway there. Know how to use it as the next piece. But what you're gonna need, you can use your phone, and that's fine if you use your phone. And if I use my phone right now, and if I start recording just like I'm doing right now, you're gonna hear me, and you're gonna see each other. But in here, you're also gonna hear this echo. And sometimes if you hear the fan, or the fan in the back, you're gonna hear it on the phone. But something as simple as getting a small little $22 microphone can help you out so much. So then you can click it on here, put this on your phone. Now everything comes out from wherever in your mouth right into here, and very little noise will come about. So you might not get the fan, you might not get the clicks, but you are going to hear most of you going into the phone. Bluetooth. All it works on is the power of the phone, and you can find them on Amazon. I just took the picture from Amazon because it's a 2-win. So that way, if Ruben and I want to have a conversation with each other, and we're like, we just pop the phone up somewhere, and we're like, hey, Ruben, let's talk real estate and mortgage. You could do a two to one, or even just a 1-on-1. And now when I talk on the phone with something like this, I could just sound a lot clearer. So I'll give you a really good example right now. Just like I'm doing right now, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna see each other. You hear that now? You hear the noise? You're also gonna hear the echo. With something like this, I could just sound a lot clearer. So I'll give you a really good example. So it gives you a big difference. Yeah. Something as simple as $22 on Amazon. I think maybe another $17. Wow. So use your money wisely. I'm very frugal with my money. I like being very effective, and I know I get fancy with toys. But it's also something, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. And if you get one, start practicing at the house. Practice at the house and just hey, I forgot your name. Clint, there you go. I'm like, so to say, hi Facebook, my name is Clint. I've been doing real estate for 27 years. No, that is okay. 3 years. 3 years. 3 years, good enough. And I'm 28 years old because I really look good. And I'd like to help you out. So if you know anybody, please send them my way. I'd love to be able to share this with you. It's very sappy, very cheesy, but just put something out there because if they don't know you, they can't grow you. And that's so true. And then if you want to get fancier, start using like a stand, because then I'll put in a stand somewhere. Then you don't have to use your phone and look like all these like millennial kids. You can then just pop something like this and then do a clicker. Click it. Hi, my name is Frank Delgadillo from CMG Home Loans. I'd like to be able to talk to you about a great product here that we're talking with a lot of great vultures. Don't worry, I'm not recording in here now. But it's a great way to have a conversation with each other. You know what? Why do you want to do this? I'm gonna do this right now. I know it's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna do this here really quick.
Want me to photobomb you?
Yes, please. Hi, my name is Frank Delgadillo from CNG Home Loans. I have a great crowd here, intimate but very special, from Coldwell Banker, George Realty. Everybody say, give me some noise, yay! Talking about some free products here about CMG's proprietary home funded account, buyer's choice FHA with 0 money down payment, great program for great buyers out there that want to buy a home that just don't have funds and have great income. I'm here to help you with that, and they're going to be helping you in getting you into a home soon. We'll talk soon. I don't know what I said. It goes out of my head. You forgot your microphone. I know I did on purpose. I already started running it. And so the microphone, little thing, you got to plug it in and then you play. So it's a plug and then play. But it's something as simple as that. And I can post that then on Instagram or YouTube, or wherever I want. Which on the top? Ah, great question. Just in case of whether you have, that's it.
Ah.
And just for some reason, what if it comes out too dark? Then you got a little light, because sometimes these lights will come out looking a little more greenish. You can see all the colors. Maybe it's with the wall, even the walls are gray. It looks green. With something as simple as a light, might make it a little different. But at least now my hand will look a little brighter here. So any little thing helps to make sure you look good. Last thing you want to do, the best thing you want to do is you want to sound good. You want to at least look bright enough. You don't want to look dark. You know, you don't want to be a secret agent. You want to be a well-lit, bright, beautiful agent, or good-looking agent. And that costs about $35. Amazon, maybe not cheaper. So for under $100, you can make yourself look at the stand. $15, $22, $35. Do the math. I'm a lender. I should be doing this much faster. $70 out the door. Get you something that you can at least start doing things for yourself. And presenting. It's a matter now of just having the confidence, the competency, and the consistency, so that people can say, "Oh yeah, I remember Virginia. She did it. She talked about FHA on a condo. She talked about Michelle. Sorry, the faces are here, but names are not. Hey, I have a great listing coming up. Next week. Come on down, check it out. Somebody that wants to buy here in the area, or anybody here who's in this area. Give me a call. Love to help you out and getting into a home. Something as simple as that. But knowing what to say and having those bullet points is so important. 1, 2, 3 things. You don't have to do a whole 10,000 letter script. Just have a couple of bullet points. Who you are, what you do, how you love doing it, and how you can help somebody. Simple as that, and you go from there. Any questions with this? I wanted to make it as easy as possible because we spent a lot of time on the first part that I wanted to roll by on the last one. But I hope that I was able to give a lot of good information out there and everyone in Zoomland and in reality land.
Yeah.
Zoomland, can you still say hi to me? So I want to make sure you're still there.
It's Zoom, not Zooland.
Zoomland.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much. Everybody. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, everybody. Hope I was able to give you guys some good information. Take some waters with you. Take some pizza home with you guys. Yeah, yes.
No, the pizza. I'm sorry about the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, one more question on Zoom.
Yes. Are we allowed to say we have a lender with 0% down or 3 or 5% down? Absolutely. And say his name is Frank Delgadillo from CMG Home Loans. Give me a call, meaning you the agent. Give me a call and I will set you up with them.
All right, that wraps it for today's Lunch and Learn. Thanks for joining us, and you guys have a good day, okay?
What player's gonna get our attention?
Thank you. That was
Oh, thank you, Michelle. Great question, especially like.
and that's